I don't think people understand this Solana fire dancer. And again, not just picking on Solana because I'm long of it, but it's just like they're thinking that Solana's theoretical TPS is 65,000. Fire dancer takes it to 1 million. And it was built by Jump Trading. And the idea is you can therefore use blockchain for high frequency trading. So therefore it can be used for all exchanges. And if you think about the mess of FTX, we need exchanges on blockchain. We need the recorded ownership of assets. When Lehman Brothers went under, everybody's got a claim on the collateral, and there's 35 claims on the same piece of collateral. Right, this sorts it all out, automatic settlement of everything. We've seen that in DeFi. DeFi is a great experiment in showing that everything can automatically settle.
Real Vision's founder and CEO, Raoul, has actively participated in the digital asset space since his initial Bitcoin investment in 2013. Like other participants in the field, Pal expresses bullish sentiments, particularly as the transition from crypto spring to the peak of the bull market unfolds. The spotlight has been on Bitcoin in recent months, especially since BlackRock, the world's largest asset management firm, received SEC approval for a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund after applying last June. Despite recent price fluctuations, analysts remain optimistic about Bitcoin's prospects leading up to the halving and beyond. While Pal's Bitcoin investments are not extensive, he maintains a bullish outlook on the leading crypto asset. Moreover, Pal sees potential in various other cryptocurrencies, anticipating substantial returns for investors in 2024 and beyond. Topping Pal's list is Solana, a sentiment he has consistently expressed, particularly since learning about the development of Fire Dancer, a new validator client for the Solana blockchain. As a former Goldman Sachs executive, Pal is highly optimistic about Solana's future trajectory. Fire Dancer, positioned as a long-term solution to Solana's past network outage issues, aims to enhance network performance and security by reducing the risk of software-induced outages. Pal envisions Solana's value potentially surging by nearly 50 times before the conclusion of the bull market. Additionally, he holds a positive outlook on various other cryptocurrencies and digital assets, including NFTs.
Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to drop your comment and observations in the comment section below. Thanks and enjoy the video.
I'm very overweight Solana because I could see it survived the worst nuclear winter, and the developers were very active, the community was very active, and then they made some big tech breakthroughs with being able to mint 1 million NFTs for $100. And then Fire Dancer, which kind of changes the entire game again in terms of speed and cost. So I think that's why I've backed that horse, and still having Bitcoin and still having Ethereum. And then there's a bunch of new stuff, out of Sui and Say and Polygon, and there's just so many things. And the answer is I don't know. It's difficult. That's one of the reasons I set up the asset management business I've got, Exponential Age Asset Management, was because this bit is difficult. It's easy to own the top 3 or 4 and not fuck it up. It's very difficult to choose the winners unless you're in it all day, understanding everything. And so the idea I had was to start an asset management business that just invests in crypto hedge funds. So it's a fund of funds. So they actually are doing the work to find that, because otherwise it's actually really difficult to do. Again, we've all got proof in our wallets that we thought we were onto the next big thing, and it wasn't. But in terms of, is it a winner takes all? I just think we can't tell. I doubt it. I think different chains will be used for different things, but it will probably end up being a total of 5, take 80% of the market. I mean, XRP is another one. It has use. There's plenty of use, but it's not the best performing asset. It's a blockchain that gets used. There's a bunch of others with big market caps that aren't used at all, just for fun. I mean, you could use Doge. Elon may use Doge for payment systems or whatever, some way, shape or form. But Doge's got huge market cap, just driven by retail investors. It's bananas, but this is the space we're in. Listen, I think the whole space, the meme is really important. I mean, the best meme Bitcoin ever had was not digital gold, it's number go up, right? I mean, that's such a powerful meme, right? And people get it. And so memes are really important because these are new things and people don't know how to really place them in a mental framework. It's kind of a child of the internet too. So, dog with hat is like the big meme coin of the moment. And that's fine. It's kind of pure speculation and culture. It's the value of culture. But the problem is it can die so quick, the culture of one thing, and others are pervasive, like Doge. So it is really hard to do, but my God, you can make a lot of money. And in my 10% DGen portfolio, I've got a couple of those that are just memes that I think could work, but it actually takes a lot of work. So a few of my friends are really good at doing this. They really focus on the meme. I try and look at the meme that might run for a year and a half, as opposed to the meme, because some of these will do 50x in a month and then disappear. So it's hard, and I don't like people to do it unless they really know what they're doing, or if do it with the 10%, because that's one way of fucking it up. You just think you're on to the next 100x, you put all your cash in, you get rug pulled or whatever, and before you know it, you've lost all your money.
Powell also holds a bullish stance on non-fungible tokens, foreseeing a resurgence of the NFT bull market that could rival the massive growth observed in 2021. However, he advises caution, noting that the NFT boom may not fully return until macroeconomic conditions show significant improvement. Drawing parallels, Powell likens NFTs to luxury items like fancy wristwatches and vintage cars, emphasizing that these assets become attractive options for investment when individuals have discretionary income. During a discussion with Pomp, Powell underscores the strong correlation between macroeconomic conditions and the crypto market. The former Goldman Sachs executive highlights that events such as the Bitcoin halving cycles, business cycles, and U.S. election cycles are interconnected and are expected to reach their peaks in 2024 and 2025. Powell's video delves further into his expectations for the crypto bull market, with a specific focus on recent developments involving institutional investors and the resurgence of returning investors.
I'm starting to get phone calls.
Okay.
Which is interesting, right? Once you start to get the phone calls, because there's a bunch of them that deep in the space, like Alan, he's deep in the space. A bunch of them have people who are already operating, this bucket for them. So, they're always around, the Paul Joneses and the Stan Druckenmillers, they'll be periodically in and out. They're agnostic. They get it, but they're traders. You've got the Lewis Bacons of this world who have teams of people doing stuff, as do a bunch of them. But then there's the other kind of billionaire crowd, which is the other hedge fund managers or just the general billionaire crowd. And a lot of them came into it for the first time last cycle, had their metal tested, were like, God, this is not easy, but I know they'll be back. So I'm getting quite a few phone calls from that crowd as well, which is like, hey, should we get back in, and what should I be thinking, and how should I be doing it? What does this all mean? So I think that they'll all be back in. And I think this time around, they'll stay because now they understand it. You've got to go through a cycle to understand how this asset works. So I think they'll stay this time around and they'll figure out how to deal with it. And I've done a lot of work from Global Macro Investor, which a lot of these guys are all subscribers to. And I've basically proven that crypto is a macro asset. It's driven by the same forces of liquidity. And you relentlessly show that there's a narrative, which is like, this is funny internet money, blah, blah, blah. And you show them it's exactly the same forces. So you can use global M2 or liquidity, whatever thing. And then you start proving, okay, how do you use the same macro tools and chosen different assets? What are the outcome? And you find that even on a risk adjusted basis, crypto is like 5 or 10 or 20x better. It's like that. I think you tweeted it out as well. Fidelity put that hilarious scatter plot of risk rewards of all the assets, and all bottom left. And then you kind of don't realize, but you have another look, and right up at the top right is Bitcoin. I think the main driver of this whole space in terms of private capital has been family offices, because they don't have a mandate. They can do what they want. So we've seen and continue to see the family offices drive the VC business and the hedge fund industry. The institutions are still few and far between. The guys at Texas Teachers, there's only a few that have really allocated. Nobody's done a big allocation. There's a lot of noise that the Middle East is doing stuff, but I don't see many people actually coming back with tickets. So I think that's still to come. It feels that, because if you think about how the world works, even when we look at from XPAM, the hedge fund side, none of the hedge funds are on like the Cambridge Associates platforms and the big platforms. They just haven't done crypto. So the traditional way of some giant pension fund going to Cambridge Associates, finding what the right hedge funds are, and having Cambridge do the due diligence and then allocating doesn't exist right now. So they don't really have a way of doing it unless you've got some sort of pioneers within the shop itself. So it still feels like the major institutions of that type. We'll see more this time around. Yeah, we saw a reasonable amount last time. We'll see more this time around. It's probably the cycle after that. I think the ETF is a good thing because I know there's a lot of rogue fund managers who know that they can hoodwink the risk manager by saying, I've just got an equity. It's called IBIT. It's an equity. You don't know what it is. And it's Bitcoin, right? They will do that. There'll be a bunch of people who do that. And eventually they'll get the mandates to do it properly.
By all indications, 2024 is poised to be a crucial year for Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency industry. The noteworthy event of the year is the anticipated Bitcoin halving, a phenomenon that, in previous cycles, has heralded substantial price surges for the leading cryptocurrency. However, according to Raoul, the most bullish news for this particular cycle revolves around the conclusion of the Federal Reserve's quantitative tightening and the commencement of an extensive macro and crypto summer. As the distinguished macro analyst and prominent investor elaborates, all signs point to an increased fiscal stimulus for the U.S. government in the coming year. Powell predicts that the Federal Reserve will face the choice of either cutting rates and engaging in quantitative easing or implementing a strategy akin to Japan's yield curve control, thereby injecting more liquidity into the system. This expected liquidity boost, coupled with the impact of the Bitcoin halving, is foreseen to result in substantial price gains for the cryptocurrency industry. According to the founder of Real Vision, the combination of the Bitcoin halving and the anticipated liquidity pump from central banks, including the Federal Reserve, will have a positive effect on crypto assets. Powell boldly forecasts that this upcoming period could mark one of the most significant, if not the largest, crypto bull market ever. He anticipates a prolonged 18-month period of substantial market growth, during which prices are expected to exhibit a parabolic surge. Do you share his outlook and predictions for crypto assets such as Solana and Bitcoin? Feel free to share your thoughts and observations in the comments section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these two awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.